For Bahubali business strategy to succeed, it needed some precise planetary alignment. Sort of. The business plan you see here on screen is from one of the most popular episodes of South Park. The 4-point plan is a satire on the startup culture in US. The business of any cinema, however, doesn't fit this mold at all. The business strategy of Bahubali is certainly different from business plan of any typical Indian cinema. A lot different. I think that's where the true genius of Rajamouli lies. Let's absorb some numbers first. These are the top 20 highest grossing Hollywood films of all time. The box office collections range from 2.8 billion for Avatar at the top and 1.03 billion for Alice in the Wonderland at number 20. What it means is, even if you make a billion-dollar film, you won't make this list. Incidentally, I saw 15 of these 20 films. I might have enjoyed watching a couple of them, but I liked none of them. This is a similar list for Indian films, highest grossing films of any time. As you can see, Bahubali is the first Telugu film to make this top 20 list. As of July 25, 2015, only 2 weeks after the theatrical release, Bahubali stood at number 8. It sure is bound to go higher in the list as the time goes by. Actually, I won't be surprised if it reaches the top of this list before all the excitement subsides. I only watched 3 of these 20 films and I liked only one of them, Bahubali. In other words, Bahubali is the only film I liked in the 18 I watched from a list of 40. A list of 40 top films made by Hollywood, Bollywood and Telugu film industry. Let's take a few of these films and put them in relative perspective. Coming in at number 20 in Hollywood top 20 is 2014 remake of Alice in the Wonderland. It made a little over $1 billion at box office. Estimated budget of this film is $150 to $200 million. Let's say $175 million. That means the return on investment or ROI is a solid 486% for this film. PK, the number one box office hit of Indian cinema. Box office collection 120 million, budget 13 million, return of investment 823% or a 9-bagger it is. Magadhira, the number one grossing Telugu film before Bahubali. Incidentally, Magadhira is also made by Rajamouli. It apparently collected $25 million and has a budget of $8 million, return of investment 212%. Now let's do a comparison of the size of these 3 markets. This big circle here represents Hollywood's number 20, which is Alice in Wonderland. The smaller circle represents PK, the highest grossing Bollywood flick ever. Mind you, these circles are to scale and we are comparing the collections of number 1 Indian movie to number 20 in Hollywood. Number 1 in India to number 20 in Hollywood. So you will have a relative feel for the relative sizes of these markets. And now let's look at the relative size of Magadhira, the highest grossing Telugu film before Bahubali. Let's zoom into the Venn. The areas of intersecting circles symbolically represent common markets, though of course not to scale. This is an approximation. For example, I watch all 3, Hollywood, Hindi and Telugu, so I belong in that tiny yellow portion of the intersecting circles. Now, keep this chart in your mind as I talk about the market risk. As a business, the Bahubali project is risky on many levels. First of all, the scale of the project is massive. Second, the multi-part experiment has not been tried on Indian cinema. Well, who really knows what the real budget of Bahubali is? Nobody really trusts the numbers, especially in India. For that matter, nobody really knows the true budgets of Hollywood flicks. They're just approximations. The range I heard is 100 to 250 crores of rupees. Depending on the exchange rate, it translates to anywhere between 20 to 40 million dollars. Let's take the average and say the cost of making Bahubali is about $30 million. It sure is a bargain when compared to Hollywood standards, and it's an outrage. an outrage when you look at the size of the market for Telugu films, which I just showed you. The highest grossing Telugu film before Bahubali, which is Magathira, may have made what? About $25 million, dollars, which we just saw. The highest grossing Indian film itself made about 110 million, with the ultimate potential of making maybe $100 million. The projected return on investment for Bahubali is at very best, what, 233%? What if the movie fails? Indeed, planets need to be aligned. This is what it looks to me like the business plan behind Bahubali. First, create the buzz. And create the buzz he did. Second, spread the rest. Simultaneously make a dub in different languages, Tamil, Hindi, whatever. Seek government approval for higher ticket prices, which is an unusual practice in India. Just be profitable or break even with part 1. And then mint money with part 2. Well, if there is no part 3, that is. I have no doubt that very soon IIMs will introduce a case study of Bahubali business model in their curricula. Okay. If it makes Rajbauli fans happy, even Harvard and London School of Business are going to do the same. Introduce a case study about Bahubali business in their curriculum. Satisfied? All said, this may not be a groundbreaking plan, but the execution has been flawless. Rajamouli has learned so much from Hollywood, not only about the art of filmmaking but also about the business of cinema. One wonders, what are Rajamouli's future business plans for Bahubali? After all, he has created so many strong characters. Is he going to license them for action figures merchandise? With the amount of counterfeiting in India, I say good luck with that. Or is he going to have a prequel with Grandpa? Or, wait, because this happened, is Rajamouli planning a sequel?